Y'all ever notice how every black historical movie deals with us during slavery, but they never make a movie with us before slavery? Because if they did, they'd have to show us being indigenous. All the slave movies that they make, all the black historical movies that they make, none of them deal with us before slavery. Really think about that. Let that sink in. Every group of people, like Europeans, they have countless movies about the Middle Ages. They have countless movies about the Romans and the Greeks, but they have no movies about us prior to slavery. That's because if they were to show us prior to slavery, they'd have to show us being indigenous right here, and they can't show that. Roots, Django, Amistad, I mean, the list goes on and on and on. But there's not one movie about us before slavery. That's heavy. They go through extreme measures to keep the African lie going, the slave trade lie going. They don't want to show us being indigenous right here because that would inspire too much pride in us. That would make us feel connected to this land.
Food for thought. Hey, beautiful people, welcome back to my YouTube channel once again. Thank you for stopping by, supporting your girl on this channel. Thank you so much, guys, for watching my videos. So all credit goes to the creators in these videos. And guys, in today's video, so this video is a compilation of the views and the thoughts of black people on birthright citizenship, right? We all know the stories, the ula balu, everything that has been going on, right? And the stories that centers around birthright citizenship. So these people have a lot to say. Let's watch these videos and let me know what you think in the comment section about this birthright citizenship, because guys, every day is a different tea. Let me know what you think in the comment section.
Target was never them. It was always us. Black people. Immigrants were the test subjects, the dress rehearsal. But the main act was always about revoking our rights, our citizenship, our existence. Birthright citizenship is next on the chopping block. And understand, the 14th Amendment wasn't created to serve immigrants. It was created to correct the crime of slavery, to finally recognize us, the descendants of the enslaved, as citizens, as humans.
So after the Supreme Court ruling that could end birthright citizenship, black Americans are not just concerned, they are outraged. Why? Because this is not about migration, this is about control. This is about reminding black, brown, and immigrant babies that their existence is conditional. That if you don't have generational wealth, land, title deeds, you are permanently under review. Today it's birthright citizenship. Tomorrow it could be your freedom. This system isn't just broken, it is being reprogrammed to erase the very people it never wanted in the first place. If they can change the rules of who belongs, they can change the rules of who is free. So we have to speak up. We have to continue firing. And remember, it won't just stop with just one group.
Hot take, it's probably already been said, but they don't want to give black people reparations because they know that if we receive reparations, we would leave. A lot of us want to leave. And the big reason why we don't leave is because we have no means to leave. We don't have the money to live somewhere else. We're barely living here. So, they know. Also, they're fucking cruel and just disgusting. But they know if they gave us reparations, we would leave and they would have nobody to oppress. They would have nobody to do whatever the fuck they want to do to. And they keep talking about birthright citizenship, and they got their way with the Supreme Court. We all know that. But they do know that it applies to them mostly. I don't think it matters because, you know, in the back of their minds, they probably do understand that it applies to them, but they don't think that the rules apply to them ever. Anyway, so, but if you start rounding up black people because for whatever reasons you decided we're not citizens, where are you deporting us to? Although, let's not kid ourselves. We know that it's not about deportation. It's about kidnapping. It's about doing the same thing that they did hundreds of years ago. If they figure out a way to do it, they probably will. But again, that's why we'll never get reparations, period. Under any administration. Never. They don't want us to leave. They want us here.
So they already weren't giving people due process, and now they don't really have to recognize birthright citizenship. And this also affects you, and I don't really think a lot of people are understanding that. Since they are already not giving people due process, and since they no longer are going to recognize birthright citizenship, at least for the interim, okay? Let's put that out there. For the interim, they do not have to recognize birthright citizenship, or at least they're choosing not to. Since they're not going to be doing that, that already means they're not going to check IDs, which is something that they have already been doing. They're not going to check the identification of the people that they are taking. This also means that they can just racially profile and take people away. They've already been doing that too. So this is already nothing new. But that also means since they can just racially profile and they are not going to check the identification of the people that they're taking. Even if you can prove that you are who you are, you have to prove that you were born here. In order to prove that you were born here, you kind of need a birth certificate. But since they're not recognizing birthright citizenship for the time being, they don't even have to look at your birth certificate. And don't tell me that I'm coming up with a conspiracy theory or anything like that. Because a lot of you on the right like to say you can't trust the government with anything, but when it comes time for them to take away brown people, all of a sudden you can trust them with everything. I'm no longer taking any of your stupid arguments anymore. Every single argument that you make has been contradicted by an argument that you've made in the past, and a lot of you think that we don't remember. Because even if you have your birth certificate, let me tell you something, they don't have to accept it as valid. They don't. And they've proven time and time again that they're just going to keep on breaking the law. They have the whole administration behind them. So they don't even have to follow the law. They don't have to recognize that that's your birth certificate, because even then they can just use the excuse that, oh, we need to verify that people in your family are all legal and they have never been illegal, or they're currently not illegal. And you know what they're going to do? They're still going to send you to a different country, to a concentration camp, or maybe one here stateside. I heard about the one in Florida. It looks very nice. They're still going to send you over there. They're not going to let you speak to your family. They're not going to let you get any updates, and they're going to pretend like they're actually looking into it when in reality they're not, because everything is going unchecked. Everything. Every single thing is going unchecked. This hurts you too, because they can do it to you. And it's not a matter of if they're going to do it to you. It's a matter of when are they going to do it to you. But this is what you voted for, so obviously you guys are happy. But all I got to say is that to any Trump supporters out there, I really do hope someone from your family gets taken, and I hope you never see them again. Because you know what? You're all right with this happening to other people, but if this happened to you, you would be on the internet crying for sympathy. Any GoFundMe I see, just going to mass report it, just going to make sure that it gets taken down, because you want this for other people. So you shouldn't be mad or sad if it happens to you. But I promise you, this will affect you. Even if
as a culture, we gotta stop being so easily impressed by things. One positive headline does not undo 10,000 red flags. Y'all are celebrating birthright citizenship like it's a win for the culture, while they are fast-tracking South Africans over here and they're sending Haitians back to their country after it's just been deemed unsafe to live. Like, do you actually think the peace deal they're trying to create over in Rwanda is about actual peace? Or are they just over there for minerals?
So Donald Trump's new executive order to ban birthright citizenship will take effect in 30 days. That's what Donald Trump says. His executive order will take effect in 30 days to ban birthright citizenship. I am just curious as to how far back he's going. You know, is he going to snatch 50 and 60-year-old people that were born to immigrants and became citizens because of their birthright? Is he going to snatch 60-year-olds, or is he just going to snatch up newborns and deport the children? I don't see how it's going to happen, like how he's going to organize this to pull it off. That's what I mean. He can write all the orders he wants, but how? When a woman goes to a hospital to deliver, they're not going to stop to ask if she's a citizen. There's usually sometimes not enough time for that. So, and then once the baby is out, what are they going to do with it? How long can the baby stay in the country? It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. If for all that matters, he's not legal either. His parents were immigrants and he was born here. So he's an illegal immigrant. I don't know if he realizes that or not. His wife is an illegal immigrant. This is so crazy for one person to have so much hate in their heart for mankind, for anyone who does not look like him. It's a disgrace. And I know they say don't question God, but I've started to take that don't question God statement as something society says. Don't question God. I'm questioning. I'm asking God. I want to know. How can one person be allowed, one person with this much hate for everybody, how can they be allowed God to continue? How can God let them continue? I sit back and just think or wonder how, I never saw, I can't even get the words together. I can't put the words together right. I guess I never dreamed that we would be in this position. I never dreamed we'd be here. Not in my lifetime. I didn't think we'd be here in my lifetime. I didn't think we would regress. I didn't think we would go backwards from all the progress that we've made. It's happening before my very eyes and yours. He truly believes he can turn America all white. He believes that. He's trying to get every person of color out of the country. Why else would you end birthright citizenship? Hell, let's go way back. I know that my ancestors are from Benin and Cameroon, but I was born here. Send me back. You know, if you're going to send people back for free, fucking send me back, because I cannot stand living in the same country with this motherfucker.
The Supreme Court just ruled that individual judges, individual federal judges, do not have the right to give nationwide rulings or apply nationwide bans on individual rulings, and that instead it should be on a class action type status. So like with the birthright citizenship, the people that they find that are going to be affected by this law, they need to include them in a class action, and then you can ban it that way, but you can't put out a nationwide ban. I'm going to be real. This doesn't sound like a man who's giving up his seat in 2028. Now, why did this happen? Because Trump is going after the birthright citizenship. So in response, judges put in a nationwide ban on the ruling, saying that it was unconstitutional, and asked the Supreme Court for an emergency hearing. Usually the Supreme Court does not hear emergency cases because they run on their time. But in this case, they did, and they ruled in favor of Trump. So I have a question for Black Americans who think that this ruling does not apply to them. If America could go back and change anything in the course of American history, what is that thing that you think that they would do? Because I have an answer. What I think they would do: one, annihilate the Native American community so they don't exist today, because colonization works much better if you destroy the native indigenous people of the land, because then you can always pretend that you are on the land. And two, they would never give y'all rights. They would never give y'all citizenship. They would write the law in such a way to make sure that you specifically would not have access to citizenship, because if you have access to citizenship, that means you have access to respect, access to dignity, access for them to treat you like a human, and they would never do that, so they could continue to subjugate you. They may have let you one free, meaning they don't necessarily own you, but definitely would have still kept a lot of the black codes, the whole sharecropping thing. Things would have been structured very much differently, that even though you're free, you're really not fucking free. So I ask you, when Trump is coming after this law, do you really think that you will be safe? Do you think it will just be Latino people who will be sent away? Or do you think it will be just Latino people who will be stripped away of their citizenship? Do you really want to run that bet?